My child, stop for just a moment. Don't scroll past this. Don't move on. Don't turn your eyes away. I have stepped into this very moment because this is your final call. Time after time, you have heard my voice. You have felt me gently pulling at your heart, yet you chose to push it aside. You have heard my whisper and told yourself, I'll come back later. But there is no later in this moment. This moment is sacred. It has been set apart. It is unlike every other moment you passed by without a second thought. Right now, I am speaking to you with a weight that cannot be ignored, with a love so deep it rests heavily on your heart and an urgency that reaches into the very core of your spirit. I am calling you to stop, to breathe, and to truly look into this message the way you rarely stop to look at anything. Because what heaven has prepared for you is waiting here. If you choose to skip past me again, you may walk right by the very thing I intended for you. I am not saying this to frighten you. I am saying it to awaken you. For far too long, you have been moving through your days half asleep, drifting from one moment to the next, overlooking the signs I placed before you. You have held tightly to the things that only numb your pain, while running from the very things that could heal it. Then, in your moments of confusion, you wondered why nothing seemed to change. But tell me, how can change come when you continue to pass by the very moment I created to transform your life? You cried out for answers, yet you avoided my call. You prayed for direction, yet when I placed it right in front of you, you looked the other way. You asked me to come closer, but every time I did, you distracted yourself with something smaller, something louder, something easier to hold on to. Still, here I am once again, clearer than before and stronger than before, louder than before, not because I am angry, but because I love you too deeply to let you walk past what your soul truly needs one more time. My child, feel the seriousness of this moment. Feel the sorrow in my heart. It is not sorrow because you failed me. It is sorrow because I watched you walk in endless circles. I watched you struggle beneath burdens I was ready to carry for you. I watched you reach for the very things that wounded you. I watched you chase people who were never capable of protecting your heart. And I watched you keep avoiding the very moment that was designed to set you free. You have passed me by before, but not this time. This moment is different. This is not another casual scroll. It is not a coincidence. It is not an accident. I brought you here. I placed these words before your eyes with intention. You are not reading this because of boredom, chance, or perfect timing. You are here because heaven carefully guided your steps to this exact place. I need you to understand just how important this is. Feel the tightening in your chest. Notice how your thoughts have slowed down. Sense the way your spirit is leaning in right now. That is me. I am pressing gently on your heart because I refuse to let you lose what I have already prepared for you. You cannot yet imagine what is waiting on the other side of your yes. There is more peace than you have known, more healing than you thought possible, more clarity than your mind can see today, more freedom, more answers, more open doors, and more breakthroughs than you could ever count. But all of it is connected to this very moment. If you choose to pass me by again, the blessing itself will not disappear, but its timing may. What I intended to come with ease could become a much longer journey. What I plan to place into your hands today may have to wait until tomorrow. I do not want you to miss what I have already written for your life. You have been asking me, when will everything finally change? When will peace return to my heart? When will I understand why I am here, my child? This is where the change begins. Not tomorrow, not someday, not when life finally settles down. Now, at this very moment, I am stepping into your life with purpose. I am reaching into your heart with my own hands. I am calling your name as though it echoes throughout heaven itself, while all of creation waits in complete silence for your answer. Can you feel it? Can you sense the weight surrounding this moment? Can you tell that this is not just another message? This is the moment that will determine what comes next. Chapter of your life. So many times you've wondered if you were getting close to missing the destiny I created for you. Deep inside, you felt the fear of drifting out of alignment, of losing precious time, of falling behind while everyone else seemed to move forward. Yet even beneath that fear, there was another feeling, a quiet certainty that something greater was coming, something powerful, something divinely appointed. And you were right. This is that moment. This is the shift your spirit sensed long before your mind could understand it. This is the turning point. This is the crossroads where one simple decision, to stay or to scroll away, can shape the direction of your story. I know you're tired. I know you've carried burdens for far too long. I know disappointment has worn down your heart. I know waiting has tested your faith. I know you've been trying to stay strong, even when you felt like you had nothing left to give. I know your spirit has cried out for breakthrough, even during the moments when your lips never spoke a word. That is why I am speaking with such urgency today. I am not angry with you. I am not frustrated by you. I am not disappointed in you. I am fighting for you. I am fighting for the part of your heart that still believes even after life tried to make you numb. I am fighting for the part of you that still dares to hope, even when hope has felt painful. I am fighting for the destiny I wrote over your life before you ever took your first breath. My child, listen carefully. Take a deep breath. Let every distraction fall away. Let the noise around you grow silent. Let the pressure of your day fade into the background. I am here with you right now, closer than your thoughts, closer than your heartbeat, closer than the pain you've been carrying. And I am telling you, do not walk away this time. Everything you've been praying for is hidden inside this very moment. The blessings you've asked for, the healing you've cried over, the answers you've desperately searched for, they all begin here. Everything you need for the next chapter of your life is wrapped inside what I am about to reveal to you. If your heart truly belongs to me, take a moment and comment, God, you have all of me. Then stay with me. Don't rush away. Don't let fear pull you back. Don't allow doubt to steal your focus. Don't let old habits convince you to skip this moment again. This is your final call, not because my love is ending, but because your next season depends on your response. This is the moment heaven has been preparing you for. This is the place I have been leading you toward all along. This is the moment that can change everything, if you allow it. My child, stay with me until the very last word. Let me breathe life into your weary soul. Let me open your eyes to what you've been unable to see. Let me show you what comes next. Let me lead you out of the cycle that has kept you trapped for so long. Let me reveal the truth you've been searching for. Let me fill your heart with the peace it has been longing for. This is your final call. Don't pass me by again. What I have prepared for you is waiting here. My child, listen with your whole heart, because I am about to reveal something you've never fully understood. You've felt my presence more times than you can count. You've sensed me drawing you closer. You've heard my gentle whispers in ways you couldn't explain. Yet, you kept running. Not because you wanted to rebel, but because you were afraid. You questioned your own worth. You delayed the decisions you already knew you needed to make. You overlooked the signs I lovingly placed before you. You kept telling yourself, I'll respond later. You convinced yourself the timing wasn't right, or maybe you were only imagining my voice. But through every delay, I never stopped calling you. I never stopped guiding you, even when you believed you were wandering alone. I never stopped reaching for you, even when you ran from me without fully understanding why. You have lived caught between two desires, wanting me while fearing what following me would change. You longed for healing, yet held tightly to the habits that kept your wounds open. You prayed for clarity, yet remained surrounded by confusion. You asked for breakthrough, yet hesitated to leave behind the very things that were breaking you. You searched for purpose, but standing still felt safer than moving forward. You wanted me, yet part of your heart still clung to the things that slowly wounded your soul. And so you found yourself living between two worlds, one foot in faith and one in fear, one foot in your calling and one in comfort, one foot in destiny and one in delay. But hear me now. I saw every struggle hidden behind your silence. I understood every reason for your hesitation. I never judged you for your doubts. I never turned away because you delayed. I never stopped watching over you when you ignored my signs. Not once did I stop believing in you, but now this season has reached a critical turning point. My child, this is unlike any moment before. This is not another cycle repeating itself. This is not another opportunity you can casually pass by. This is not merely a gentle invitation you can return to later. This is a divine intersection, a moment heaven has aligned with your life. What happens next depends on how you respond right now. I am giving you this final call, not because my love is running out, not because I have grown tired of you, not because I wish to punish you, but because heaven is moving. The unseen realm is shifting. Alignment is taking place around you. Angels are stepping into position. Blessings are being released. Attacks are being stopped before they reach you. Doors are opening that no one else can open. Battles are being settled that you cannot yet see. Heaven's timing is moving forward, and your life must move with it. My child, there are moments in life when time itself becomes holy. Moments when your next step cannot be taken casually, but must be answered with faith and seriousness. This is one of those moments. This moment is a gate. This moment is a turning point. This moment is the doorway into everything I prepared for you long before you even understood who you were. If you become still and truly listen, you'll feel it. You'll recognize the urgency rising within your spirit. Not an urgency born from fear, but one born from purpose. The quiet certainty that something is changing, something is opening, something is shifting. That is me drawing you closer. You've already felt this change, even if you couldn't explain it. It appeared as restlessness inside your heart. It appeared as discomfort in places that once felt familiar. It appeared as the growing realization that you can no longer remain where you've been. You felt me breaking old patterns. You felt me removing what no longer belonged in your life. You watched doors close that you never expected to close. You felt me leading you away from people you once depended on. You sensed your spirit becoming unsettled in situations you used to tolerate. That wasn't confusion. It was alignment. I am removing everything that no longer matches the future I have prepared for you. I am shaking what must be shaken. I am loosening the grip of everything that has held you back. I am clearing the path before you so you can finally walk forward without carrying burdens that were never meant to stay. That is why you feel such urgency. Not because something terrible is coming, but because something heaven has prepared is drawing near. And before we continue, if this message is touching your heart, please consider supporting this channel. Our mission is to bring peace, hope, joy, and a deeper devotion to God into the lives of those who need it most. If you feel led to do so, you can show your love and support through Super Thanks. My child, I must speak the truth to you in love. If you choose to skip my call again, not simply this message, but my invitation, you will not lose me, because my love never fades. You will not lose my presence, because I never abandon my children. But you may miss the blessing connected to this appointed moment. To this very moment, you may miss the timing, the opportunity, the open door I placed before you. You may miss the momentum I'm trying to release into your life right now. Understand this deep within your spirit. Blessings do not disappear, but the windows through which they arrive do not remain open forever. When I move, everything connected to that movement begins to flow. When I call, everything prepared for that calling stands ready. But when someone hesitates, the blessing waits for the next appointed moment of alignment, and sometimes that moment is much farther away than they ever expected. I am not speaking these words to threaten you. I am speaking them because I love you. I am warning you because you have prayed for too long to miss what is now standing right in front of you. You asked me for breakthrough, and this is the moment that leads to your breakthrough. You asked me for healing, and this is the moment where healing begins. You asked me for direction, and this is where the path becomes clear. You asked me to remove everything that was hurting you, and now I'm asking you to trust me enough to walk away from it. You prayed that I would bring the right people into your life, and this is the season where I begin separating you from the wrong ones. You longed for peace, and now I'm inviting you into a peace that is no longer something you chase, but something you live in every single day. But you must respond, you must stay, you must listen, and you must not run away again. You have spent enough seasons living in delay. You have surrendered enough years to fear. You have walked in circles long enough. I refuse to let this become another missed opportunity, another ignored invitation, another moment you look back on and say, I knew something was happening, but I chose to ignore it. I love you far too much to watch you wander through another year of confusion, another year of living only half awake, another year waiting for something that has already arrived. This is your final call. Not because my patience has run out, but because your season has changed. You are standing at the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. What is behind you is coming to a close, and what lies ahead is beginning to open. But your spirit must choose to step forward. I need you to understand this truth. Spiritual shifts require immediate response. When heaven begins to move, hesitation becomes expensive. When destiny opens its door, delay becomes dangerous. When the path is made clear, turning away only creates another prison. When I speak and my voice is ignored, blessings begin to feel distant. Not because I stopped loving you, but because you stopped walking with me. I am not calling you into fear. I am calling you into alignment. I am not asking you to rush. I am asking you to awaken. I am not asking you to perform. I am asking you to follow. I am not asking you to become perfect overnight. I am simply asking you to be fully present with me. My child, I am reaching into your life with both hands. I am speaking with a weight that reaches deep into your soul. I am drawing your spirit toward me because what is about to unfold in your life is far too important to let slip away. You are not reading these words by accident. You are not here because of coincidence. This is not random timing. This is divine timing. You are standing on the edge of something heaven prepared for you long before you ever entered this world. Even now, the spiritual realm is holding this moment open for you. So listen carefully. Do not run from my call. Do not allow fear to distract you. Do not convince yourself that you are not ready. Do not let doubt steal the destiny I have prepared for you. Do not allow old habits to pull you back into old chains. And please, do not tell yourself, later, one more time. Later has delayed you long enough. Later has cost you enough opportunities. Later has stolen enough precious time from your life. This is your moment. This is holy ground. This is the appointed time. This is your final call. Stay with me and let me complete the work I have already begun within you. Let me lead you into the blessing that has been waiting for your yes. My child, come closer to me now because I'm about to speak to the deepest places of your soul, the places you've never revealed to anyone, the places you've hidden even from yourself. I know your pain, every part of it. I know every battle you've fought in silence, the struggles no one around you ever noticed, the burdens you believed you had to carry all by yourself. I know the heartbreak that rested on your chest like a heavy weight. I know the confusion that clouded your thoughts, the betrayal that shook your ability to trust, the loneliness that wrapped itself around you like a long, cold night. I know the anxiety that caused your spirit to tremble, and I know the numbness that made you wonder if there was anything left alive inside your heart. My child, I saw it all. Not one moment escaped my eyes. Nothing you endured was ever hidden from me. I watched you fight to stay strong while everything inside you was falling apart. I saw you pretend you were fine while your soul silently cried out for help. I watched you smile in front of others because you believed no one could possibly understand the storm raging within you. But I understood. I was there through every quiet moment when your heart ached and your mind felt too overwhelmed to carry another thought. I watched you lie awake through the night, staring into the darkness, asking questions you couldn't even find the words to speak. I heard every thought you kept buried in silence. I counted every tear you tried so hard to hide. Not one of them went unnoticed. Every single tear mattered to me. There were nights when the weight of fear pressed so heavily on your chest that it felt impossible to breathe. You wondered why no one reached out to you. You questioned why no one checked to see if you were okay. You wondered why no one could see that you were slowly breaking inside. But, my child, I was there. I was sitting beside you in the quietness of that room. I held your trembling heart in my hands when it felt like it would shatter. I surrounded you with my presence when you felt forgotten, abandoned, and completely alone. I listened to every prayer you whispered through your tears, even the ones you believed were too small or too broken for heaven to hear. And I treasured every single one of them because every cry of your heart has always been precious to me. You have felt abandoned, overlooked, and invisible. You trusted people with your heart, gave them your love, and all too often received pain in return. You offered loyalty, yet were met with silence. You opened your heart without holding back, only to watch others walk away as though your feelings carried no value. Slowly, you began to question your worth. You wondered if something was wrong with you. You asked yourself if you were somehow too much for people, or perhaps not enough. But hear me clearly, my child. None of what they did ever defined your value. Their actions reflected the wounds they carried, not the worth I placed within you. You were never too much for me. You were never lacking in my eyes. You have always been precious, always chosen, and always deeply loved. I saw the moments when you sat alone in silence, because speaking your pain felt impossible. I saw the days when you forced yourself to keep going, carrying burdens far heavier than your strength could bear. I watched you play the role of the strong one while secretly hoping someone would simply look at you and ask, "Are you okay?" I saw the moments when you broke down, quickly wiped away your tears, and gathered yourself because life refused to pause for your heartbreak. I saw the nights when your pillow was soaked with tears as you whispered into the darkness, "God, where are you?" Even when part of you feared no answer would come, I was already answering, not always with words, but with my presence. You didn't always recognize me, but the very fact that you survived was proof that I was holding you together. Every morning you found the strength to rise after wanting to give up, was evidence that my strength was carrying you when your own had run out. You believed you were walking through life alone, but my footprints never left your side. When the world overlooked you, my eyes never left you. When others rejected you, I welcomed you with open arms. When people treated you like an option, I treasured you as my priority. When you felt invisible, you shined brightly in my sight. I remember the exact moment your heart first became weary. I remember the day trust slipped through your hands. I remember when your joy slowly faded. I remember the moment life felt unbearably heavy. I remember the trembling whisper that escaped your lips. "I can't do this anymore." And I remember leaning close to your heart and whispering back, "Yes, you can, because I am with you." You see weakness, but I see endurance. You see yourself falling apart, but I see incredible courage. You see wounds, but I see the very places where my healing is ready to begin. My child, you were never meant to carry all of that pain by yourself. You were never created to hold yourself together while everything around you seemed to be falling apart. You were never meant to drown beneath fear or suffer in silence while your heart cried out for help. I was with you through every moment. I felt every ache. I carried what you could no longer carry. I kept breathing hope into you when your own hope was fading away. Even when you pushed me away, I remained close. Even when you doubted me, I never walked away. even when you believed you were unworthy of love. My love for you only grew stronger. If he has truly been your anchor through every storm, take a moment and say, "Father, I'm lost without your love." Do you remember those days when you couldn't explain why you felt so exhausted, so empty, so lost? That wasn't weakness. Your spirit was simply worn out from fighting battles no one else ever knew existed. The anxiety you carried wasn't proof that you were broken. It was the result of a heart that had been wounded again and again without ever being given the chance to fully heal. The numbness you felt didn't mean you had stopped caring. It meant caring had cost you more pain than you thought you could bear. But your numbness never frightened me. I understood exactly what it was. A shield your heart built after carrying more pain than it was ever designed to hold. My child, you have suffered quietly, but your silence was never silent in heaven. Every hidden tear reached my heart. Every unspoken cry was heard. Every moment you longed for comfort, I was closer than you realized. Every time you believed you were unworthy of love, I was already pouring my love over you in ways you could not yet see. Every moment you felt forgotten, I was still whispering your name. I saw the betrayal that wounded your heart far more deeply than you ever admitted to anyone. I saw the confusion that slowly crept into your mind when life stopped making sense. I saw the loneliness hidden behind the smiles you forced so no one would know what you were really carrying. I watched you hold yourself together in front of everyone, only to fall apart once the doors were closed and no one else could see. I saw the nights when you sat on the floor because even standing felt like more than you could bear. And through every one of those moments, my heart grieved with yours. My child, you have walked through seasons where your kindness was taken for granted. You have endured seasons where the people you trusted most became the ones who hurt you the deepest. You gave your love freely, expecting honesty in return, only to be met with disappointment. You carried emotional burdens so heavy that even taking your next breath felt exhausting. Yet despite everything you endured, you never allowed your heart to become completely hard. You continued to love, you continued to hope, you continued to try again. Never mistake that softness for weakness. It is evidence of the strength I placed within you. Even after being wounded, your heart still reflects the divine love I created it to carry. There were days when your own mind turned against you, filling your thoughts with fear and whispering lies, that you were alone, forgotten, unloved, and unworthy. But even then, I was standing right beside you, silencing every lie spoken against your identity. Even when you couldn't hear my voice, I never stopped speaking truth over your life. When waves of sadness crashed over you without warning, I was the one holding your spirit so it would not drown beneath the weight. When anxiety tightened around your chest and made it difficult to breathe, I became the unseen peace that kept you from falling apart completely. When your heart felt empty and your soul became numb, I quietly filled every broken place with my comfort, gently restoring the pieces you thought were lost forever. My child, not a single moment of your life has ever escaped my eyes. I saw the heartbreak that made you question your worth. I saw the betrayals that shattered your trust. I saw the confusion that clouded your path and left you wondering where to go. Heard the nights when you whispered through tears, "God, I just want to feel okay again." And today, I want you to know this with all your heart. Everything you endured mattered to me. Every wound was seen, every painful moment was counted, every tear you cried was carefully treasured, every breakdown was witnessed by heaven. Not for a single heartbeat were you ever truly alone. You may believe your pain made you weaker, but it actually made you deeper. You may think it broke you beyond repair, but it was shaping you into someone stronger than you realized. You may believe it destroyed parts of you, but in reality, it uncovered strength you never knew existed. You may think you were abandoned, but I was protecting you. You may think you were overlooked, but I was hiding you for a greater purpose. You may think you were forgotten, but all along I was preparing you for what was ahead. And now I come to you with tenderness, with truth, and with a love that surrounds you like warm arms around a weary heart. I acknowledge your pain, not to pull you back into it, but to finally lead you out of it. I am lifting the burdens you've carried for far too long. I am touching every place that still aches. I am gently holding every fragile piece of your heart because I see you, my child. I have always seen you. Come closer now because I am about to reveal what your eyes could not see, what your heart struggled to understand, and what your mind could never explain. You have walked through seasons that felt unfair, confusing, exhausting, and impossible. You thought you were failing. You believed you were doing something wrong. You convinced yourself that you were stuck because you weren't strong enough, capable enough, or worthy enough. But none of those thoughts were true. What you called hardship was often a spiritual battle. What you believed were delays were actually divine protection. What you called closed doors were shields I placed between you and destruction. What looked like your life falling apart was me, quietly tearing down the things that were secretly attacking your spirit. You could not see the battle taking place around you, but I saw every moment of it. I saw every attack aimed at your mind. I saw every arrow directed toward your heart. I saw every hidden plan designed to break your spirit before you reached your purpose. There were dangers surrounding your life that you never even knew existed. There was jealousy hidden within people close to you. There were unseen spiritual attacks meant to drain your strength. There were temptations carefully designed to pull you away from your calling. There were distractions disguised as comfort and opportunities that appeared to be blessings while secretly carrying poison. You thought you were only battling your own thoughts. But there was a deeper battle taking place. A battle against the light I placed inside you. Forces of darkness tried to stop the purpose I had written over your life long before you were born. You were never attacked because you were weak. You were attacked because you were chosen. The weight you carried was never proof that you were unworthy. It was evidence that you carried a destiny the enemy feared. Before you even discovered who you were, the enemy saw the calling upon your life. He recognized your potential, your purpose, your influence, your anointing, and the future I had prepared for you. That is why the battle began so early. The goal was to break you before you ever had the chance to rise. This is why life often felt harder than you expected. This is why it seemed as though the battle never ended. This is why you struggled through seasons when everyone else appeared to be moving forward with ease. This is why certain heartbreaks cut so deeply into your soul. This is why you felt exhausted, even when you had done nothing wrong. You were never being punished. You were being targeted, not by me, but by the darkness that fears those whom I have called. How many times have you asked me, Lord, why does it feel like everything is against me? My child, because much of what opposed you was never physical. It was spiritual. The resistance you felt was not coincidence. The delays you experienced were not bad luck. The disappointments you faced were never proof that you were unworthy. You were walking across a battlefield, not living as a failure. Let me show you what you could not see. There were relationships I removed, because hidden intentions within those hearts would have wounded you beyond recovery. You believed you were losing love, but I was rescuing you from betrayal. You thought people walked away because something was wrong with you, when in reality I was leading you away from those who would have slowly damaged your spirit. You cried over doors that closed, but those very doors would have led you into places that would have stolen your peace. You blamed yourself when blessings seemed delayed. You wondered if perhaps you simply weren't good enough. But, my child, you were always enough. The blessing wasn't ready yet, or the environment wasn't safe for what I was about to place in your hands. I protected you from receiving too much before your heart was prepared to carry it. Some blessings would have become burdens if they had arrived too soon. Some opportunities needed time to mature. Some open doors were actually hidden traps dressed up to look like success. You called it bad luck. I called it my covering over your life. There were seasons when you couldn't move forward. because I was standing between you and the very things that would have destroyed you. There were places you desperately prayed to enter, but had you walked into them, hooray, they would have slowly emptied your soul. Never mistake every delay for denial. Some delays are protection, some delays are lifelines, some delays are my loving voice saying, "Not here, not yet, not this way." You have wondered why certain relationships slipped through your hands. You have questioned why the people you loved most became the ones who hurt you the deepest. You have asked why friendships changed, why trust was broken, and why people suddenly became different. But hear me now, not every heartbreak was a loss. Some heartbreaks were acts of deliverance. Some heartbreaks were me removing the wrong people so I could protect the calling on your life. Had I allowed those connections to remain, their wounds would have become your wounds, their battles would have become your battles, and their darkness would have slowly become your burden. You believed those endings were punishment, but they were actually protection. I saw what you could not see. Hidden motives, quiet jealousy, false support, silent competition, and broken intentions hiding behind warm smiles. I heard conversations you never heard. I witnessed moments your eyes never saw. I protected you from betrayals that would have crushed your spirit. I removed voices that would have destroyed your confidence. I closed doors to places where your soul would have slowly withered away. You thought your life was falling apart. But what if I told you I was tearing down everything that was quietly hurting you? You believed you were being held back. But what if I told you I was simply holding you still until the storm had safely passed? You thought nothing was working in your favor. But what if I told you that all along, behind the scenes and beyond what your eyes could see, everything was working together for your good? My child, you were never losing. You were being defended. Let me show you something even deeper. The pressure you've carried was never meaningless. It was the fire of refinement. So many times you blamed yourself for not being strong enough. Yet all along I was using every trial to strengthen you. I was shaping your character, growing your patience, and building your spirit so that when the blessings I have prepared finally arrive, you'll be able to carry them without losing yourself. The enemy intended to use hardship to destroy you, but I used those same hardships to transform you. You asked, "Lord, why did they hurt me?" Because their hearts were never aligned with the purpose I placed on your life. You asked, "Lord, why didn't this relationship or opportunity work out?" Because the timing would have led you toward your downfall instead of your destiny. You asked, "Lord, why has this blessing taken so long?" Because I needed to prepare your heart first, so the blessing would become a gift instead of a burden. You asked, "Lord, why does everything seem to fall apart just when breakthrough feels close?" Because the battle often becomes fiercest when destiny is nearest. The weight you carried wasn't because I had abandoned you. It was because you were facing battles you were never meant to fight alone. You walked through storms that I was already calming behind the scenes. Weapons were formed against you, yet many never reached you because my hand stopped them before they ever could. There were moments when darkness surrounded you so completely that it could have consumed you. Yet my presence kept a flame burning inside your soul, giving you just enough light to keep taking one more step. So, let me tell you the truth you've needed to hear for so long. You did not fail. You fought. You did not fall behind. You survived spiritual warfare. You did not make every wrong decision. You were lovingly redirected away from hidden danger. You were never forgotten. You were being hidden for the right time. You were never rejected. You were being protected. You were never truly stuck. You were waiting in a season of divine preparation. You were never losing. You were being made ready for everything that is still to come. Now perhaps you can begin to understand why the journey has felt so difficult. It's because what I have prepared for you is far greater than anything you have lost. It's because where I am leading you requires a strength you didn't yet possess. It's because the blessing I have prepared is too great to be placed upon a foundation that wasn't ready to carry it. And it's because I loved you too much to allow you to step into your destiny before your heart was prepared to sustain it. Your pain has never been meaningless. Your delays have always carried purpose. Your hardships have never been without intention. Your story is not falling apart. It is being carefully written by my hands. Even now you are walking through the final chapters of a battle you were never meant to face by yourself. My child, I want to speak to you with honesty, gentleness, and a love that never hides the truth. I want you to hear my voice without fear, without shame, and without feeling condemned. I will gently show you the moments when you turned away from me, not to reopen old wounds, but to help you see how faithfully I continued pursuing you, how patiently I waited for you, and how deeply your heart has always mattered to me. I have not come to condemn you. I have come to reveal my mercy. If these words speak to your heart, take a moment and type, Jesus, my soul rests in you.